In the centuries following the first sightings of the elusive white horse, the unicorn became more than a memory. It became a prize of unimaginable worth. In the grand courts of medieval Europe, there was a substance more valuable than gold, more precious than diamonds, and more sought after than the crown itself. They called it alicorn, the true horn of the unicorn. To possess even a fragment of this ivory was to possess the ultimate protection against the world's hidden dangers and the silent creep of poison. It was a symbol of divine right and earthly power, a treasure that defined the status of kings and the dreams of alchemy. Kings and queens across the continent believed that the alicorn possessed supernatural properties that transcended the physical world. It was said to sweat in the presence of poison, pearling with moisture as a warning, and heal diseases that baffled the most learned physicians of the age. Queen Elizabeth I was rumored to own a horn worth 10,000 pounds, the price of an entire city in the 16th century. These were the true relics of a world where magic and reality still bled into one another, where every shadow might hold a miracle and every object told a story of the divine. But as the demand for these horns grew, so did the mystery of their origin. Where did they truly come from? And who was brave enough to seek them at the very edge of the map? The secret of the alicorn was guarded by the frozen silence of the north, a place where the sun disappears for months and the ice speaks in a language of cracks and groans. Vikings and northern traders, venturing into these lethal Arctic waters, encountered the narwhal, the unicorn of the sea. They discovered that these creatures possessed the very spiral tusks that the world so desperately craved. Keeping the source a closely guarded secret, they sold these Arctic treasures to the south as the true horns of the land-dwelling unicorn. For hundreds of years, the most powerful people on Earth were held under the spell of this Arctic ivory, never suspecting that their divine relics came from the crushing depths of the ocean rather than the mystical heights of the mountains. It was a trade built on the silence of the ice. The trade in alicorn was built on a foundation of shadows and whispers, a network of secrets that spanned continents. In the great marketplaces of Venice, London, and Constantinople, the legend of the quest began to take root. Explorers and adventurers didn't just want the horn. They wanted the living source, the heartbeat of the legend. They believed that if they followed the trade routes back through the wilderness, past the edge of the known world, they would find the guardian spirit of the wild. But the unicorn proved to be a master of evasion, a ghost that lived in the gaps between the trees. The further north the explorers traveled, the more the creature seemed to retreat into the fog, leaving behind only the cold, hard evidence of its existence in the form of bone and ivory. Many who embarked on the quest for the unicorn never returned from the white silence. Those who did spoke of a landscape that felt like another world, a place where the wind sang with human voices and the ice shifted like a living thing beneath their feet. They found the ivory they sought, but they never found the horse with the single horn. It was as if the unicorn was testing their hearts, measuring their intent, rewarding their greed with a hollow bone, while keeping its true, majestic form hidden in the unreachable distance. The quest for the material object became a mirror for the human soul, revealing a desperate hunger for a world that refused to be captured, controlled, or even fully understood. The unicorn remained free, and the explorers remained haunted by what they could not find. As the centuries turned and the light of the Enlightenment began to pierce the medieval veil, the mystery of the alicorn slowly unraveled. Scholars and naturalists began to notice the undeniable similarities between the royal horns and the anatomy of the narwhal. The magic began to fade from the physical object as science claimed it for the realm of biology, categorizing the miraculous as the mundane. Yet, a strange thing happened. Even as the horn was proven to be a tooth, the legend of the unicorn stayed as strong as ever, because the human spirit didn't need a physical bone to believe in the untamable. The unicorn remained a symbol of the wild, transcending the material world to live forever in our collective memory, a truth that no microscope could ever diminish. Maybe the true value of the quest was never in the horn itself, but in what the search represented. It was a journey toward a world that keeps its own secrets, a nature that can be respected and loved, but never fully owned. The unicorn didn't need a horn to be magical. It only needed to be free. The quest continues today in every person who looks at the horizon and wonders what lies beyond the known. We no longer seek a bone to heal our bodies. We seek a connection to the wild to heal our souls. The memory of the white horse remains, a guardian of our dreams and a reminder that the world is still full of wonder, waiting for us to step into the light. Background music swells, echoing the vastness and the mystery of the Arctic waters, where the secret of the horn was kept for centuries. In this cold silence, the memory of the unicorn of the sea remains. The desert remains a place of mirrors and myths, where the horizon constantly shifts, much like the legend of the unicorn itself. Here, the wild still speaks in the rustle of the sand and the long shadows of the dusk. In the silence of the old growth, the memory of the wild still breathes, waiting for those who know how to listen to the stories written in the leaves. The unicorn is here, in the spirit of the trees and the echo of the forest. The quest for the unicorn is ultimately a journey into the heart of our own imagination and our enduring love for the wild. Thank you for joining us for this long chapter of the legend. The wilderness still has many secrets left to share. We just have to be quiet enough to hear them. Until we meet again in the memory of the wild, stay curious, stay hopeful, and stay wild. Final credits roll over the fading light of the world.